It has of course been the week of E3 2018 this week. And that means it's been a damn busy week for the news.
First up in this week's Sunday News Roundup, Sony was under huge public pressure this week after the release of Battle Royale juggernaut Fortnite on the Nintendo Switch. So how does Sony become the bad guy when a third-party game releases on a completely unrelated platform? Simple. Crossplay. First, the basic problem is that Fortnite is a cross-play title, meaning new Switch players can play alongside those on the Xbox One if they wish, but not with players on the PS4, because, well, Sony doesn't allow it.
But that isn't nearly the main problem here. The main problem, the thing that's pissed most people off, is the fact that if you've previously played Fortnite on your PS4 and then tried to sign in using the same account on the Nintendo Switch version of the game, well, you just can't. That means long-time Fortnite players can't bring their unlocked outfits and in-game purchases over to the Nintendo Switch from the PS4. Xbox One players, on the other hand, face no such restriction.
Sony has not accepted responsibility for this at the time of recording, although Microsoft and Fortnite's Epic Games have both pointed the finger at Sony for crossplay restrictions in the past. Other games like Minecraft and Rocket League are both blocked from crossplay thanks to Sony. Sony released this statement to the BBC following a massive online backlash to all of this. Quote, with more than 80 million monthly active users on the PlayStation Network, we've built a huge community of gamers who can play together on Fortnite and all online titles. We offer Fortnite crossplay support with PC, Mac, iOS and Android devices, expanding the opportunity for Fortnite fans on PS4 to play with even more gamers on other platforms. We have nothing further to add beyond this at this point.
So there's a lot of public pressure here, mainly because Fortnite is flipping huge. It's got 125 billion players, and that's a lot of people that you can potentially piss off there. And
They've managed it. They've pissed them all off.
Exactly. I mean, the fact that the Switch is kind of a complementary console as well, so there's probably a lot of people who've got a PlayStation 4 and a Switch, because the Switch is something you take with you on the go. And if the idea of sharing an account is quite a basic thing in 2018, like, it's just something that you would probably expect these days, because games as a service, you want the benefits of that as well as the you get some downsides, but you want the benefits, one of which is account sharing and stuff. So
yeah, I mean, it's an Epic Games account essentially,
exactly.
And they're locking people from being able to share that Epic Games, the third-party account. It's not locked to Sony or anything, but Sony are locking it in this case because they just don't like competition with the likes of Nintendo and Xbox. That's the bottom line of it, and this is completely anti-consumer friendly. It's not consumer friendly at all. Sony, what are you doing in this? This is ridiculous. This, if anything, puts people off wanting to come to your platform. This is such bad PR. It's horrible. It's horrible service. Stop doing it. We love you, Sony, but be better.
EA was in the headlines this week after putting out quite a spicy response to complaints online that women feature prominently in the game Battlefield V. EA's Chief Design Officer Patrick Soderlund told those complaining about women featuring on the battlefield in the upcoming multiplayer FPS to, quote, either accept it or don't buy the game, which is probably the strongest EA has looked at E3 after that lackluster conference. Soderlund said Battlefield V was the game that Studio DICE wanted to make, and that a big theme of the game is, quote, the unseen, the untold, the unplayed. Here's some more of what he said about those online complaints. Quote, these are people who are uneducated. They don't understand that this is a plausible scenario. Listen, this is a game, and today gaming is gender diverse, like it hasn't been before. There are a lot of female people who want to play, and male players who want to play as a badass woman, and we don't take any flack. We stand up for the cause because I think those people who don't understand it, well, you have two choices. Either accept it or don't buy the game. I'm fine with either, it's just not okay. Battlefield V launches for PC, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on October the 19th. He brings up the example in his kind of quotes of his 13-year-old daughter who's saying I can play as a girl in Fortnite. Why is everyone annoyed that I can play as a girl in Battlefield? And he says, yeah, I totally agree, He's come out with a strong response here, which is pretty unusual for a big company. They won't often be that. They won't kind of come down with kind of a strong response like that quite often. So he's obviously
people are stupid. They're just uneducated. It's like it's tantamount to saying you are stupid. These people are stupid.
Yeah, and well, I agree. It's just madness, I guess. I mean, the big argument is historical accuracy. Come on. You're going to talk about historical accuracy in the video game Battlefield.
Yeah, if you're using that as your example of it's not historically accurate, and you're ignoring everything else. If everything else was historically accurate, I could see your point.
The game would be shite.
Yeah, exactly. You'd have one life, and that was it. You'd be dead. I mean, giving players the choice to be whatever character they want it's not a bad thing. Why try and force other people to play the way you feel because it's your politics or whatever? I'm saying that you're forcing your politics on us and all that shit, and we've seen it all. Just
play
chill
the game,
out.
don't just calm the you animal.
Elsewhere in the news headlines, Netflix has signed a deal with narrative game studio Telltale Games, which will bring Minecraft Story Mode to the video streaming service. The 5-episode interactive Minecraft series will arrive in the autumn. And another Stranger Things Telltale game is also in the works as well, but there's no release window for that project. That game won't be debuting on Netflix itself, at least at launch. This wouldn't be the first time Netflix has moved into interactive storytelling with the likes of Stretch Armstrong The Breakout, Puss in Boots Trapped in an Epic Tale, and Buddy Thunderstruck The Maybe Pile, already on the platform.
All very familiar titles, I'm sure, to every Netflix user.
My kids love them. My kids
do. They really?
Yeah,
right.
My 7-year-old daughter, she loves Puss in Boots one. She was like, that was great, Daddy. I love it. These kind of games have their appeal.
Yeah.
I would have thought they're aiming for that age category between
100%. Yeah.
Yeah,
Minecraft
younger
being
kids.
the first one.
But why are they going with Stranger Things? That's like a
that's true.
Doesn't make sense,
They're obviously
does it,
trying to
right?
expand it and stuff. It's a really, really interesting deal. If you're going to partner with any video game company and you're Netflix, obviously Telltale makes perfect sense because Netflix has been experimenting with that choose your own kind of thing as well. And Netflix does that. That's their house, man. They know exactly what they're doing. So it's a very interesting deal. Interesting to see where it goes in the future. And elsewhere in the news, Valve has come out with some strong competition for the chat service Discord. The new Steam chat feature is in beta right now and available to try for yourself. It adds a new friends list, chat and voice chat features. Valve is promising a rich chat experience that will make it more fun with games. It does look and act an awful lot like Discord. You can even run it in your browser or in the Steam client. This is apparently just the start of the Steam chat changes that Valve has in store. It feels like a no-brainer, this. It just feels like Discord are doing a great job with their, the way that they've kind of designed it and the UI and everything. It looks a lot like Discord, so they've obviously just taken like UI ideas wholesale, and the way it works and stuff is very similar. Run it in your browser, run it in the client, exactly like Discord. A great alternative, I guess. I'll be checking it out.
Makes you wonder why they haven't done it before. It works like seamlessly with Steam, so you don't need a third-party software anymore. You can just do it all in Steam. Your friends are all there anyway. Just join them in the chat, and it works like a charm.
And you can try it right now. It's in beta.
And finally in the news, LawBreakers, the FPS flop from the now defunct Cliff Bleszinski studio Boss Key Productions, is going free to play. We've covered LawBreakers a lot on this channel since it launched a year ago, thanks mainly to how that title struggled to attract players. Boss Key was shut down recently in the wake of that failure, as well as the weak pickup of Radical Heights, a game Boss Key put out to the public just after 5 months in development. Well, LawBreakers is going free to play for a short while before the servers are shut down.
Here's a quote from the Boss Key team. In light of the unfortunate news regarding Boss Key Productions shutting down, we regret to announce that we will be sunsetting our support of LawBreakers on September the 14th, as we are not able to operate the game. Our service will remain open until then, and the game will be made free to play on Steam for all players effective immediately. Please note that any and all new in-game purchases will also be disabled, and we will not be able to accept any refund requests. Very poetic choice of language there, sunsetting their support. It's a sad time, but at least everyone can have a spin on LawBreakers up until September, just to see what it was like, see what it could have been. The whole LawBreakers thing is sad because, by all accounts, good game, well designed, could have been the future of FPS if it had gone another way, but it just didn't. So at least you got a chance to see what it was about before it goes.
Yeah, and it's sad really because there's no hope for it ever to be resurrected now because the studio's defunct, right? So even if you do play it and enjoy it and think, oh, this is great, I want to play more, like September it dies and that's it, it'll be gone forever. And it's funny to see the player figures because the player figures were reached the highest peak when it went free to play on Monday this week. The highest peak since October the 1st last year. So that got almost a whole 8 months, maybe a little bit more. People would have played this game had you have made it free to play, and it's just a shame. A lot of lessons to be learned from this, and RIP and good game,
Cliffy B.
Good game, well played.
So that was our Sunday news roundup. What caught your eye in the news this week? Let us know down in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. There's another video right there which you can watch right now if you want, and a link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time.